Encounter technical issues during the broadcast, please call the Oregon Studio Hotline at 336-831-0864. Stations, your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Duck's gonna pick it up, and here we go. Got him deep. He's open. He's got it, and he's gone. How about that? Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champions.
Duarte pulls up, 3-ball. Bang!
LJ Figueroa!
Oregon goes back-to-back for the 4th time in the last 6 years. The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
Foley 3. Goal! Fires and hits a 3. Left wing, pow. Yeah, boom.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
What a weekend.
We're just getting started.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
Sunday cannot get here soon enough. Oregon men's basketball and Oregon women's basketball in the Sweet 16. The Ducks will face off on the men's side against USC at 6:45 on Sunday on TBS. And then we've got Oregon women's basketball coming at you at 4 o'clock. Sweet 16 Sunday with the Ducks. It'll be on ESPN for Oregon women's basketball as the Ducks will take on Louisville. Going to be a lot of fun, man, as this has been a really awesome season. On the floor, off the floor, there's certainly been struggles. We all know that. And seeing these two teams, though, in the Sweet 16, it's going to be a lot of fun. The only athletic department in the country with a Sweet 16 for both men's basketball and women's basketball, and a football team that was in a New Year's Six Bowl. And the Ducks on the men's side, one of only 3 teams in the nation that has made it to the Sweet 16 in 4 of the last 5 tournaments. And on the women's side, it's 4 straight. 4 straight Sweet 16s for Kelly Graves and the Ducks. Can't wait. Sunday, 4 o'clock for Oregon women's basketball. Sunday, 6:45 for Oregon men's basketball in the Sweet 16. Our broadcast plan is as follows. We will have a combined pregame show for those of you listening on our stations in Eugene, Portland, and Salem. We will have a combined pregame show beginning at 3 o'clock. Terry Johns and I will co-host it. We'll talk with Coach Altman. We'll talk with Coach Graves. And we'll jump into all things Oregon basketball. Then I will actually engineer the broadcast for Terry Johns as he and Bev Smith will call the game at 4 o'clock. Then we'll have our regular post game. We'll have an in-between game show on the radio. And then at 6:45, I'll take the reins and call the Oregon men's basketball game. As you can see, I'm still sitting here in the Country Financial Studio, which means I am not in Indianapolis. So that's what is allowing us to do this, actually. We are broadcasting remotely. And everybody, please join me in knocking on wood and crossing fingers that nothing's going to go wrong, all right? Thank you. I appreciate all those knocks. I heard the entire state of Oregon going like this, and I really appreciate it. So that's our plan. We're going to have a lot of fun on Sweet 16 Sunday. That's what I've been calling it, Sweet 16 Sunday with the Ducks. Got Dane Altman coming up as he met with the media yesterday. Eugene Marui, we've got him coming up. He met with the media yesterday as well. A little bit of a look at women's basketball taking on Louisville. We'll see what the Ducks can do against that good team. And then we also, earlier this week, talked with Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach. We have that for you coming up as they get ready to take on Cal tonight at 7 o'clock. We got a ton of Oregon sporting events going on today, including volleyball, including softball just about to throw the first pitch over at Jane Sanders Stadium. Volleyball about to get things rolling against Cal in a matchup the Matt Ulmer squad definitely needs to win to keep pace in the Pac-12 standings. And then Oregon lacrosse also in action in Tempe, Arizona right now. Men's golf, tennis, so much going on today. And we got Oregon baseball, of course, coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have a 6:45 pregame show for you across the Oregon Sports Network. There's the schedule. We're going to talk a little more Oregon baseball in depth coming up with Mark Wasikowski here in a moment. But I know that at the end of the day, none of you really care what I think. I don't really care what I think either. And we just want to hear from Dane Altman. Starting first, as he took questions from the media, the greatest hits of his conversation with the media, talking about Eugene Marui and how big of a deal Eugene has been to his program, and a little bit more on Eugene. Dane Altman talking with the media ahead of Sunday's Sweet 16 matchup.
Well, Eugene plays so hard, and he's been such a pleasure to work with. He had a tough year last year. He had knee surgery to repair some injuries that he had at Rutgers, and so he was out all last year. And then the COVID hit, and so he was working out a lot on his own. But he has meant so much to our program this year. His physicality, his leadership, his mental toughness. You know, as I said, for our coaching staff, he's been a complete pleasure to work with. Man, he's meant so much to our team, and hopefully he'll continue that Sunday night.
Curious, heading into this matchup, what was your biggest takeaways from the last time you guys played USC?
Well, they kicked us. You know, we got off to a terrible start, and they hit a bunch of threes, and we got down. We took some quick, bad shots, and you know, rallied a little bit in the second half, and it got it down to a manageable number, but just weren't able to make the plays necessary to get back in the game. So, you know, very tough matchup for us. Their size, their athleticism, a very gifted team. We're going to have to play really well. We know that. Our guys know that. It's going to take a really good effort. They're a very good team, so we're excited about the opportunity.
You've had three-point shooters over the years close the season really well. Will's shooting over 60% from three these last 6 games. Is there something about your offense that enables great shooters to peak at the right time late in the season?
I don't think so, James. I think it's just familiarity with the system. You know, those guys that you mentioned were all great workers, and all worked really hard on their shot throughout the year. Maybe the comfort level, you know, toward the end of it. Will's been with us 3 years. Tyler was with us 2. Peyton was with us 4. So those are all guys that, you know, their focus maybe increased a little bit. But to answer your question, I don't think there's anything in our system. I think it's just, you know, guys getting hot at the right time. And in Will's case, you know, he was out for so long with an injury, and the fact that he just came back and I think just got his legs under him. He was our leading three-point percentage shooter last year, and so he's always shot a very good percentage from three.
When was it that you knew that he was back to being the player he's capable of being?
Well, he had a great week the last week of the season when we were trying to win the conference title, but he played well against Arizona, UCLA, Oregon State that week. And I thought, you know, really did some great things, and really thought he was back to 100%.
Dana, given what happened the last time you guys played USC, are you glad you get another shot at them?
Well, I think anybody is a competitor. When you're not successful, you want another opportunity. And so, yeah, you know, we didn't play well. We got beat. And if you're a competitor, you know, you want an opportunity to come back and show what you're capable of doing. So I'd be really disappointed if the guys didn't feel that way, because I know our coaching staff is looking forward to the opportunity.
Are you one to kind of tell past tournament stories and lessons to the current squad? You kind of just let them be them?
Every team's different. You know, the only advice I constantly give our team is, you know, you got to focus in on what you do, and, you know, the sense of urgency has to be there, because there's no second chance. You know, I do maybe talk about former teams and how they accomplished, you know, a Sweet 16, Elite 8, or a Final Four. You know, usually it's a defensive performance on a night you don't shoot it very well. But I try not to reminisce too much, you know, because, again, every team's different. And, you know, this team is focused in on what it's about to accomplish or what it wants to accomplish. But, you know, I constantly remind them about the things necessary to do, you know, to try to reach our goals.
Quick follow-up. Last time Frank played double-digit minutes, it was against USC. And against Iowa, he had a pretty impactful 6 minutes. But you think it's in the cards for him to play double digits again, considering you got to keep up with the athleticism of Mobley?
You know, it's hard to say. We always tell our players to be prepared to play as many minutes as the game may dictate to us. So it's hard to say. Frank has been very productive in his minutes. I've got great confidence in him. The players have great confidence in him. So for a young man who joined us after Christmas and only been with us a couple months, he's done a tremendous job.
Looked like you guys were able to get out and take a couple outings in the last couple of days. How do you feel like they're just managing this, bubble situation and just mentally? How's that all playing out?
Well, I think the NCAA has done a great job in these challenging times of giving us an atmosphere where, our guys can stay COVID-free. But going to the zoo and Top Golf definitely got the guys out of the hotel, and I know they enjoyed it. But the food's been great. The accommodations have been great. The people of Indianapolis have been super. I mean, they've gone above and beyond, being very nice to our players, very nice to our coaching staffs. So the experience has been different than previous NCAA tournaments, no doubt, but these are different times. And, I think everything's gone very well, and our guys a little bored, because we're stuck on the 14th floor, but getting out to the zoo and Top Golf were definitely something that they enjoyed. So we're hopefully going to be ready Sunday night. We still got a few days to get ready for that, but the accommodations have been great and the people have been outstanding.
It seems like the conference kind of flew under the radar for most of the year. Why do you think that is, and what about the conference is allowing you to have success in March?
Well, I think, again, every season's different, and we had, 18 was not a good year for us. 19 was okay. I thought last year we had a chance to have an outstanding postseason, and this year we are. Leagues run in cycles, and there was a few in the mid-2000s there that we weren't very good, but we are improved. I think the NBA draft has shown that. It starts with talent, and we've had talented young men in our conference the last couple of years, and I think this year's no different. We're going to have a number of NBA draft choices, which gives you a sense of the talent in the league. And in fairness to the media, I think a lot of them don't see us play. We're a little different time zone, and a lot of the media based on the East Coast. They don't see as many of our games as they do some on the East Coast and definitely in the Midwest. So it's just different. But I think people on the West Coast, know that we have some quality teams, and I'm very happy for our league, very happy for our conference, because there's a number of teams, a number of players that have gone unnoticed and getting a little bit more attention now.
Yeah, Dana, what's different about your team now than a month ago when you guys last played USC?
Well, I think, first of all, Will is more comfortable now, which the ball's in his hands a lot. I think we're a little bit more settled on roles than we were at that particular time. That was right in the middle of our 7 games in 14 days, so I didn't know how the team would respond, and we didn't respond very well that night. So, I'm not sure there's a lot different, but we have, had a good stretch here. It's going to be important that our ball movement's good. They present a lot of problems defensively with the talent and athleticism they have at all positions. And the boards are a concern because of their size. So going to be a tough matchup for us, but I know our guys are looking forward to that challenge.
Obviously, same day, you guys will have a chance to maybe watch the women before you play. What's the significance of just both programs being, yet again, back on this threshold here of Sweet 16?
No, it's great. They've done really well. The last 4 or 5 years, Kelly's got it going. And, it's another opportunity for both our programs, to move forward. I'm not sure there's many schools, that have both programs, in the Sweet 16. So, I think it's kind of a sign of Oregon's overall commitment to their programs, for all our programs. So it's a great step, and wish the ladies luck.
Dana, we've seen, a kind of a trend with your teams here in the past couple of years of just being really athletic teams. We saw that in the Final Four team of 16 to 17. What differences do you see in this team versus some of your other teams that have made runs?
Well, probably the biggest difference, is we don't have the rim protection, that we did with those teams. We lost N'Faly Dante 6 games into the season. Frank has provided a little bit of that, but Jordan Bell and Chris Boucher were phenomenal shot blockers, 2 of the best in our school's history. I'd say that was the biggest difference on defense. Offensively, there's a lot of things in common. We can put a lot of shooters on the floor, a lot of versatile players that can score on all 3 levels. So, there are some similarities on the offensive end and defensive end, but the biggest difference would be the rim protection.
Yeah, how about that? I thought that was an interesting question. The Ducks have had different looking teams, different makeup that's gotten them to the Sweet 16 now 5 times under Coach Altman. I'm really looking forward to Sunday. 6:45 on TBS. We will have a full day of Oregon basketball for you. Going to talk a little women's basketball coming up as they'll face Louisville at 4 o'clock in the Sweet 16 on Sunday as well. Quick timeout, and when we come back, Eugene Omarui. We're going to hear from him next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi, welcome to the Spicy Drive-In. May I take your order?
Can I get the spicy chicken sandwich, please?
The spicy chicken is an excellent choice, sir. And to drink?
Whatever's fine.
Oh, may I make a beverage pairing recommendation this evening?
Sure.
If we are feeling especially bold tonight, sir, I would recommend the Mountain Dew with that. It's bravely unrestrained with a very alive aroma that pairs wonderfully with your spicy chicken. It's followed by a hint of zesty citrus flavor.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I'm sure you already know this, sir, but remember to appreciate the nose first by giving the Mountain Dew a little swirl to relieve volatilize it.
What?
To change the flavor compounds and activate your taste buds to get them fully primed for that chicken sandwich.
It's delicious.
Now you're getting the hang of it. The muscular flavor charge characteristics of Mountain Dew make for an absolutely epic mouthfeel when paired with spicy cuisine. It is quite on point, sir.
Dude, it's a perfect match. Like they were made for each other.
So true, so true.
When you want to make good food bolder and bold food better, do the Dew.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield IMG College.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace. Learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack inside the Country Financial Studio, and calling all cookie lovers, Crumble Cookies, a rotating menu of over 120 flavors. Come see Crumble Cookies in Eugene off of Coburg Road. Or, find the Crumble Cookies in your area, wherever you're tuning in. Dana Allman was brought to you by the Winter Valley Cancer Institute Research Center. Fight like a duck with cancer care you can count on. How about Eugene Omarui? Man, I think, look, you want a key to the game? Eugene Omarui is the key to the game. Scored 9 points against the Trojans in the first meeting. Wasn't his best effort. In fact, it was only one of 2 games this year where he did not score in double figures. feel like Eugene Omoruyi is probably going to score a few more than 9 against USC. How does he operate against those Mobley brothers? I think that's a real key in this matchup. And Eugene Omoruyi talked with the media yesterday, going through the matchup against the Trojans on Sunday at 6:45 in the Sweet 16.
Eugene, you've played a lot of bigs this season. You just played Garza, and now you get a rematch with Evan Mobley. What makes Mobley a unique challenge, even compared to some of the bigs you've played this year?
I would say his quickness. He can move. He's good at. He has a real soft touch around the rim, and he's good at reading the game. Really.
How different are you guys compared to a month ago when you played them at the Galen Center?
We were locked into the game, but I felt like they kind of punched us in the mouth to start the game right off the bat. And they kind of started us off track, but we know we have to lock in more, and we know we have to come out there and be focused on the court, especially on a big stage like this. With a game that means so much, that really decides our season, really. So, yeah, we just come out and compete.
Eugene, given what happened to you guys when you played USC the first time, are you pretty happy that you get another shot at him this week?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm very excited. I wanted this game in the Pac-12 tournament. We couldn't get it there, but I'm just happy to get it now. I'm a competitor at the end of the day, and I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to play, and if it's against them, I know the guys are ready to play them, so we're all just locked in as a unit to come here and compete.
I'm wondering if you had a chance to watch the Rutgers game the other day. Obviously, they had a kind of a tough ending. Kind of what were your emotions watching that, and are you still in touch with any guys on the team? Did you see any of them out there?
I didn't see none of them out here. I seen the end of the game, and they couldn't really close it out the ending, but I'm just happy for them. They came a long way. I remember being part of that journey. They came a long way, so for them to be part of this moment was a big thing for them. I know it was a big thing, and I still communicate with some of them, so I was happy for them watching the game. I'm really focused on the Ducks now.
What's the biggest difference in you as a player from your time at Rutgers and your time at Oregon? How have you changed? How are you able to do different things in this system?
Just my feel for the game, me playing basketball the right way, me knowing the in and outs of the game. With having such a great coach as Coach Allman, he's taught me a lot of things about the game that I didn't know when I was at Rutgers. And just coming here and competing and putting in the work ethic and working on my shot, my dribbling, just working on so much things. I feel like me coming here has really elevated my game to the next step that I need to get to.
The significance of Will's play down the stretch, and when he seemed to be going, you guys seemed to be really good.
Yeah.
What kind of impact does he bring to you guys on offense and defense?
It's a big impact. I always tell him before the game, we're as good as you take us. Him being the point guard, just leading us. We need him to have big games just to get us going. Also, we know he's a leader on this team, with being one of the upperclassmen. So we just need him to keep coming on aggressive, and that's going to get us playing better and playing more as a unit. It makes our attacking come up from a different standpoint. We're able to attack in many different ways when he's going. So we need him to keep coming out with that every night.
It's been a Pac-12 frenzy of how well the conference has done. A quarter of the teams in the Sweet 16, and every coach from the conference has been asked about it. But as a player, are you guys paying attention to that, or do you really care about that?
I wouldn't say we're paying attention to it, but we do notice it. People really downplayed the Pac-12 this year, but us playing in it, we knew it was a very competitive conference. We knew there was a lot of great teams in there. But coming to the tournament, everyone gets to see it now, so it's a real good thing.
Yeah, USC, put out some bulletin board material when Isaiah Mobley said, Oregon stole the Pac-12 from us, and you have the whole Duarte and Evan Mobley Pac-12 Player of the Year matchup that Mobley took outright. I guess motivating factor for you guys right now.
Just to go out and win the game, go out and compete. We're not going to get into the back and forth talking with them. We just know that we got to go out there and compete and come out with the victory, really. So,
what kind of validation is it to be here in the Sweet 16 in a year where you guys were on the floor, off the floor, and then back on again, man?
It's big. It's really big. Just being able to be here in this moment. It's been a childhood dream of mine. Growing up, I always wanted to be in this predicament, and with such a sturdy year like this, everything going up and down like a roller coaster it's been tough, but we've accepted the challenges and we've continued coming back stronger. So I'm just happy. I know the guys are excited. We're just all happy to be here in this moment.
Eugene, obviously you guys were in that big hole right off the bat last time you played these guys, and it kind of skewed, I think, the way the game developed because you were just trying to frantically come back the whole time. But so how did you feel like you matched up otherwise? I mean, for 36 minutes, the other 36 minutes of the game, how do you feel like you match up with this team, even though the two rosters kind of profile differently?
We match up really good. I'll just say they punched us in the mouth early last time, and it kind of just started us off the wrong way. So we know that now. We know we got to be more locked in. We know we got to come in with more of aggression and just start the game off right, start the game off at our pace, and just come out there and compete. We can't let them get going early and just take over the game like they did last time.
The football program has made a lot of headlines with the talent that they've been able to bring in. Clearly, Dana knows what he's doing with all the talent that he's brought to Eugene. Guys have a lot of eyes on you now in the Sweet 16. If you're talking to a recruit that's considering Oregon, how are you selling the Ducks? Why should they come play for Dana?
Great coaching program. Really a player's coach. All the coaches are really players' coaches. They work with you. They develop your game to get you better, and they're always there for you day in, day out. Eugene, Oregon is a very nice city. Quiet, allows you to focus on basketball, no distractions. It gets you into the right mindset for the next level you want to get to. Yeah, really. So I really enjoyed it. That's why I chose there.
Gene, before the season started, I know you have no control over this or anything like that, but how confident were you guys that LJ's transfer would be approved and he would be eligible to play for you this year? And just how big has he been down the stretch for you? It just seems like he's playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Yeah, he's been very big. We always knew LJ could play this. I played LJ when I was at Rutgers, so I already knew LJ's game. I know the season didn't start off the way he wanted it to, but he's coming around great. Very positive guy. One of my best friends on the team. He's really coming around great, and it's his work ethic. He works hard for it, and he wants it, and he's one of the reasons we're here today. So he's really helped us in a big way, and he's always been dialed in.
Eugene, what does it mean as a player that at numerous times in this stretch run here that, and I'm sure throughout the season, that Coach Altman will turn to you guys and ask for your input and to put you in spots that other coaches may not take your input and may not put you in those spots?
Like I said in the beginning, he's a player's coach. He's always entrusted. He's always built that into us and allowed for us to read the game and give our input also for the reads that we're reading out there. He trusts in us. We've gone through this the whole year, and I feel like that trust has gotten even stronger. For the calls he asks us during the games, it's like I said, he's a player's coach. He's always going to trust in us. So we give him our input, and he goes with it, and it gets us going because we know we can trust in him, and we know we can give our input, and he'll hear us out.
Looked like you guys got to go on a couple outings the last 24 hours. How do you feel like you guys are just managing this tournament? Obviously, for some guys, this is all they know, so maybe it doesn't feel too weird, but for guys who have been to a tournament, it's different. How do you feel like you guys are holding up mentally, and what did it mean to be able to get out and go on a couple outings the last 24 hours?
It's been good. It's tough when you're in the room all the time, but it's been good. Just the little outings we're getting, we're able to go out and just spend a lot of team time and a lot of bonding. I feel like it's helping us get even a tighter bond as a team. So I feel like it's been good. Staying in your room all the time, you could fall asleep a lot, so that's not too good. So just getting out has been really good, though. Really good for us.
Usually in a normal tournament, you guys are flying back and forth. You're staying here. Has that led to maybe more opportunity to either individually watch more film or, collectively as a team practice a little bit more and stay, locked in on your job at hand, or is it a little bit different in that way?
I'll say just us staying here instead of traveling back home and coming back, or other places, has been different. I feel like us staying here has allowed for us to lock in on the plan ahead and just no distractions. Just been able to watch film, understand the next team game that we're playing, and just keep it going, and just all the guys being together, just being able to talk through film and understand the personnel that who we're going to play next. So I feel like that's been a big thing for us staying here, just us reading reading the game by just watching film, talking to the coaches, and just not only learning who we're going to play, but just creating a bigger bond and a better bond with other teammates.
Eugenio Marui as the Ducks set their sights on Sunday, 6:45 TBS. Ducks and Trojans in the Sweet 16. Meanwhile, Oregon women's basketball, they're going to meet with the media this afternoon, so you'll see some more updates and news from Kelly Graves and beyond throughout the weekend heading into the 4 o'clock tip for Oregon women's basketball against Louisville in the Sweet 16. I wish that the press conference had happened just maybe just a few hours earlier, and we would have had some Kelly Graves for you, but unfortunately, we missed it by about an hour as we're getting off the air at 2 o'clock here, and they'll meet with the media coming up this afternoon. But Oregon women's basketball against Louisville, I've been talking with Terry Johns and Bev Smith about this, and if Oregon plays defense like they were earlier in this tournament, 3 of the 8 quarters in the tournament so far, the Ducks have held their opposition to single digits. They do that, they can beat anybody. And, man, I think a real X factor is going to be Maddie Shear. Maddie Shear doesn't have to score. She can distribute to Sedona Prince and Niara Sabally, and that could really mess with Louisville's game plan. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Sweet 16 Sunday, pregame coverage across the Oregon Sports Network begins at 3 o'clock with a combined men's basketball, women's basketball pregame show, then a 4 o'clock tip for Oregon women's basketball on ESPN and on the Oregon Sports Network with Terry Johns and Bev Smith, then a 6:45 tip-off for the Ducks and the Trojans coming up in the men's basketball Sweet 16. So 4 o'clock tip for the women, 6:45 tip for the men on Sunday. Coming up next, it's my pleasure to welcome Graeme Abel back to the show. We're going to talk with the Oregon soccer head coach as, don't look now, but Oregon soccer is going to be making the NCAA tournament. More after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joy Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. Graeme Abel is joining us. Talk a little Oregon soccer via the University of Oregon Alumni Association guest line. Coach, you guys are 4-3-2 on the year, 2-2-1 in conference, and it has to feel good to be coming off a 2-0 win over the Beavers. Let's look back before we look ahead. What'd you like about your squad's performance in a rivalry matchup on the road?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, the weather wasn't favorable. We got a heavy downpour, good old Pacific Northwest weather for sure. First half we didn't get exactly done in the first half what we wanted to. didn't get pressure on the ball the way that we wanted to get pressure. So we adjusted a couple of things at halftime just to adjust with our press and to make sure we could get the right type of pressure on the ball. And then did a better job of valuing the ball in the second half, keeping a hold of the ball at times and not giving it away right away. And so once we made those adjustments, was able to get a little bit more pace up in the front line and get a little, like I said, get more pressure on the ball. We were able to get a breakthrough around mid-50, I think it was like the 55th minute mark when Ali scored. So solid performance. We know there's still a lot of evolution left in our team, but a solid performance.
Hey, is it like the most rewarding thing ever as a coach when you make adjustments at half and then everything works out in the second half? I mean, is that just when you and the coaching staff go like, yes, we got one today?
We do it together, you know what I mean? We ask our student athletes, hey, what do you think? You're out there, what do you feel? And I think, Zoe Hasnawa, she kind of spoke up and said, hey, I think if we do this, this, and this will help. And then we make the adjustments that we need to make as well. So we do it as a collective, and, our kids do a great job of that as well.
How good has Ali Cook been finishing around the net for you this year?
She's been an awesome team player in general, just her ability to hold things up, ability in the air, and then obviously the finishing. She had some big goals, scored the goal in Gonzaga, the goal against Stanford, another goal the other day that I think was a Sports Center moment. So she's just been a great team player for us on both sides of the ball, and that's been the big thing that our kids have invested in significantly, is being able to be productive both on the defending side of the ball, but also on the attacking side of the ball as well.
Leading the team with 3 goals, and then second right behind her, another person who scored in this matchup that we're talking about against the Beavers, in Eden Hardy. Tell us a little bit about Eden's game and how she's progressed this year.
It's been the entire time since I came into the program, to be honest with you. Eden has invested in herself physically to ensure that she can play 75, 80 minutes of a game at the tempo we wanted to play. So I've just seen a ton of growth in her personally, in her soccer wise. She's a genius academically, so we don't have to worry about that piece. But we've just seen a lot of growth in Eden, and she'll continue to grow and continue to get better. She's going to come back in the fall as well. So it's been cool to see her growth firsthand.
Hey, you touched on the fitness of your team and how Eden's really embraced that. It seems like your entire team has really embraced that, Coach. I mean, what can you say about the shape that your team is in right now? Because I feel like you guys have outlasted some teams this year.
Well, we're working pretty hard. I mean, we don't do anything without a ball. We do everything structured within games that involve the ball and things like that. That's just our philosophy. We're not a get on the line, run type program. That's not what we do. And we try to build different types of games that, it could be a 3v3 game over 60 yards that is going to involve a lot of running, but it involves the ball. And so it's an investment we make just because we know it's a difference maker in terms of being able to run teams into the ground. And, when we get to that 80th minute, we want to be the ones that are still able to sprint and still able to press teams, still able to transition, still able to attack at pace. So all down to the kids. They've done a tremendous job. And again, another shout out to our sports science people who've been awesome with it as well.
Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach, is joining us. They're hitting the road. Berkeley Friday. They'll take on Cal at 7 o'clock. We'll talk about that one coming up in a second. I want to talk to you about another individual, someone who I feel like every coach in America say, yeah, you need to have somebody really good to score, but you also need to have somebody really good to prevent the other team from scoring. And boy, Leah Freeman's been pretty darn good for you this year. What can you tell us about her?
Yeah, she's evolving too. I mean, she's first year playing collegiate soccer, so there's a lot of differences, from the youth game to the collegiate game in terms of decision making. Things are a little bit quicker. Playing in our conference, the quality of opponents every single week is there. So she's just continuing to get better and better. Thomas does a great job with her. Charlotte Brisley that trains alongside her is working hard too. And, so we've just got a really, really strong goalkeeping unit, something we're really confident about.
7 o'clock, Cal, Friday. What's the scouting report on the Golden Bears?
Good team. I mean, we saw it when they came here. You know what I mean? They've got players all over the field, good players, an attacking midfielder. They got pace up top. So it'll be a solid game. I mean, it'll be a tough game for us. So we're just looking to get on the road again. And do what we do, take Pape on the road with us.
I like that. Taking Pape on the road. Now we got to figure out a way to have you like bring some turf with you on the road, right? There's all these traditions that coaches and student athletes and athletes across sports come up with, right? We're gonna have to like get you a square of turf taking Pape on the road now.
We'll take it. We're playing on turf Friday night. We're playing on their rugby field, so we're fine with the turf, no problem there.
So do they? Wait, actually, that's interesting. So they have a couple different facilities down there at Cal that they'll use, right?
Yeah, they have. I haven't played there in a few years. They have a track stadium that they play instead of a track, which I think is a little bit more narrow, and we're playing on a rugby field, so that'll be a first. I don't think I've played on a rugby field before, so that'll be a first for me.
I can imagine a rugby field is a little bit torn up. Is that a fair assumption, Coach?
Well, it's field turf. So variation of the field turf. We just need to make sure that when our kids shoot on goal, they shoot on the soccer goals and not the rugby posts. So.
Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach, joining us. He'll be here all week, folks. He'll be here all week. Stanford on Sunday as well, coming up at 1 o'clock for the road trip down to the Bay Area. Coach, I wanted to ask you a little bit, too, about your back line. You and I talked off air about this a little bit, that it just seems like your defense has really taken a step up. What's the next step for the defense on your squad as well?
Well, it just continues to get better, on all aspects of it. I don't think there is one specific area. Rachel does a lot of work with them as a unit. We lost Hannah early on, so that kind of moved things around, and then we lost Chai for a game, but then with that we were able to get Megan Rook at times, so we've gained experience for Megan, so that gives us more depth in the back line. Chardonnay Karan's coming to the back line, done exceptionally well, and Hannah's close to returning, so we feel as though we're just going to continue to get stronger and stronger in the back line in terms of depth. But it's those guys growing in all areas, 1v1 defending, how we defend when the ball's in a wide area, how we defend in the air. The nice thing for our team is we don't give up many chances. When you look at it, we're probably in the top third of the Pac-12 in terms of chances given up, which is a good thing. And we need to continue to shrink that number.
That's good. You can't lose if the other team doesn't get a lot of chances to score, right?
Well, that's it. We try to defend. Our attitude is we don't defend. We all get the ball back. So
I like it. Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach, joining us. Okay, so you're gonna have to forgive me for this question. You're 4-3-2. You're 2-2-1 in conference.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few weeks left. Do you start looking at the standings like I do at this point as a coach?
No, you know me. We go game by game, practice by practice. I don't want to be the boring Bill Belichick type answer, anything like that.
You've got a hoodie on, though.
I've got a hoodie on. It's not football, but no, we go practice by practice, game by game. And that's the only way we'll approach things. And our only focus right now is Cal, is making sure that in terms of a game, so preparation tomorrow, preparation Thursday, then we'll fly down to the Bay Area. But no, we'll win as many games as we can, compete as many games as we can week to week, and wherever we fall at the end of the season, that's where we fall.
Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach. Well, I'll do my best to keep track of the standings, and I'll do that part so that you guys can just worry about each game and winning. But just a heads up, everybody, that this team is looking really good, and you're going to want to jump on that bandwagon at Pape Field and taking Pape on the road. Graeme Abel, Coach, hey, safe travels. Thanks again for always taking the time to join us, and looking forward to catching up with you again soon, hopefully talking about a few victories, huh?
Awesome. Yeah, definitely, Joey. Definitely.
Graeme Abel joining us. All right, we got more Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union coming up. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hi, you've reached Toyota. This is Jan.
Can I save on a new Toyota?
Yes, with great deals through March 31st at participating dealers.
I'm really into mystery podcasts lately for those long drives.
Well, imagine yourself in a Camry when a celebrity sleuth solves the perfect crime. Or camping in a RAV4 when a shocking theft turns a city on its head. Or off-roading in a Tacoma when trouble follows a big city cop to the country. Spoiler alert, it was the butler.
Toyota, let's go places.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Learfield IMG College.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
They say that car crashes happen in slow motion. The reality is that crashes happen fast. There's no time to think and no time to check if your child is in the right car seat. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your kids in the right seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Get more info at safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at North Fork Public House, open for dine-in and takeout. Lane County moving down to the low risk, and we are all happy to see that. Hopefully that the light is at the end of the tunnel. NorthForkEugene.com. Sweet 16 Sunday coming up. 3 o'clock pregame coverage across the Oregon Sports Network. You can listen to both broadcasts in both games in one continuous broadcast. Does that make any sense? That was a real tongue twister. We've also, though, got Oregon baseball this weekend. Mark Wasikowski talked with me and a couple other members of the media post-game on Tuesday to get ready for this matchup with Arizona. It's coming your way at 6:45 tonight across the Oregon Sports Network, and at 7 o'clock, the Ducks will face the Wildcats in, yet again, another top 25 series, depending on which of these 6 college baseball polls you're looking at. Mark Wasikowski pretty darn happy with where his team's at and talked a little bit about this matchup this weekend at Arizona. Coach Wasikowski talking with me and a few other members of the media.
Yeah, it was very good to get a lot of people into the game today, rest a couple people as well. Really nice to come out on top. I thought it was a well-rounded team effort and a good win.
Well, it's just the depth of the pitching staff, and RJ starting out, doing a nice job in his 2 innings, and then pretty much followed suit apart from Schiff, who even got out of a little bit of a jam. Just your thoughts overall on the pitching staff and the depth that you guys have in that spot right now.
Yeah, it's really nice, and we really wanted to get Colby Summers in the game, but we didn't want to delay the game anymore to bring him into the ball game. There's still a couple of guys that really didn't even take their jacket off down in the bullpen quite yet for us. And it'd be good to get those guys in the game too. But it was really just a bunch of freshmen through today. We had a lot of freshmen. I think it was 4 or 5 of them out there throwing. I think 4 of them plus a COVID freshman, it's really good to see that there's a foundation of pitching here at Oregon. That's how you're going to win. That's how we wanted to build it, and we'll continue to build it. But it's encouraging to see those really good young arms, and Coach Angier with the work he's investing in them with his team of analytics guys. It's pretty obvious they're doing well. So it was nice to watch them work today. And yes, even the jam with Christian that he worked out of, to be able to, with the bases loaded, to be able to induce a double play and that had potential of being a crooked number, and he kept it at a 1, which was a good job of damage control for sure.
Yeah, so we talk about the tag team of pitchers, 7 different guys. Was that always the plan in a midweek game?
It was today, yes. It was fun watching them throw, and the ball was coming out of their hand good. Scotty Ellis, first outing, exciting to see. RJ Gordon starting, that's his first time he's started for the Ducks, and he did very well. Isaac Aon, so start, middle, and then at the end, with Rio Britton coming in the middle and Isaac Aon at the very end. I thought they did real well, and the freshmen did a nice job tonight. They didn't look like freshmen on the mound, which is always the goal. And they have big upsides. Great kids, too. I mean, good students, good people, and good pitchers.
Tanner Smith, second time that he's led off a game with a home run. Just how nice is it to have a potent guy like that can really give you a shot in the arm at the top of your lineup?
Yeah, it's big time. It sends a message, we're here, we're ready to play. And, to have that kind of makeup at the top of the order where he's a true competitor. He's a guy that just loves to mix it up and get in there and scratch and claw and fight his way. Sometimes he's got home run power, but he's a really good, complete hitter as well. And it's a nice way to start a game off. That's for sure. Being able to score a run on the first hit of the game.
You put up 5 runs that are earned. The rest come from, pass balls and walks. In 2 outs, you put up 8 of those 10 runs, and you had 3 out of 9 hitting. Just your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, there was some sloppiness in terms of that you hit on in terms of the pass balls or runs that way. They're still getting on base somehow. The bottom line is we ask our guys to give us a quality at bat. We had more quality at bats today than non-quality at bats, and so they did a nice job with that. You always want, a lot of times you always want more, and you want more good at bats, more quality at bats, more runs. Bottom line is we won today. We scored at least 1 more than they did, and that was good enough for me.
Talking about adjustments, as we talked about that pregame and just making adjustments, I thought Nick, he strikes out a couple times, then he gives you a good sacrifice fly, gives you an RBI after the stolen base for Aaron. Did Nick make some adjustments that you liked throughout the game today?
Well, yeah, and I mean, he even was terrible in his first 2 at-bats, and for him to dust himself off, get a clutch sacrifice fly, then get a knock, get another RBI later in the ballgame, that was really good, and Nick's a great kid. Him, like I said at the start of the year, him and Sam Nowitzki have been in a pretty dang good battle. And then here recently, Sam's been playing very well, being a steady contributor with the bat and playing elite level defense. I mean, that's the thing. Coach Hinkle's got these infielders playing really elite level defense. And with Josh Kasovich anchoring the infield at the shortstop spot, he's making Sports Center plays every dang day. And that needs to be said because Josh is a real worker. He didn't just all of a sudden become a shortstop. He worked his tail off. His work ethic is something to be said, talked about. And so thrilled to see Josh anchoring the infield. I thought he had a tremendous day today as well. And just a testament that it's much easier to pitch when you got those guys fielding ground balls and playing such good defense at a high level.
I want to look ahead to Arizona just for a moment. They took down number 11 UCLA. They're not currently ranked at the moment, but just your thoughts on that Wildcat program.
Yeah, they should be ranked. They're not ranked right now. They should be ranked. They lost the series at UCLA. They won 1 game there. Then they came back on a Monday and just absolutely pummeled Loyola Marymount. They're offensive. They've got big-time offensive players. They've got a couple of guys that I think will vie for the hitter of the year in the Pac-12 conference with Kenyon and Aaron Zavala. And, they got a couple of hitters that are the real deal. We've watched them on tape. They can get out, you can get them out. You make good pitches. We saw this last weekend when UCLA pitchers made good pitches on their hitters. But they're going to be a really tough test. They're a good program. Coach Johnson's a very good coach. And it's, when we looked at this stretch at the very start of this stretch, when we said, wow, okay, going to Santa Barbara, going to Oregon State, Arizona State, UCLA. Well, we're 3 weekends into that. Now we're at the 4th weekend or whatever. And we get another tough opponent. And so, that's exciting because that's why you come to Oregon. That's why you play in the Pac-12. You want to play against the best. And we do every single week. And so far we've had some success. So hope.
Mark Wasikowski talking with the media, myself, a couple other members post-game, gives you an idea of where the Ducks are at after they were able to utilize a lot of pitchers on Tuesday, get a nice win, showing the depth of their lineup a little bit, and now we'll see what that lineup looks like tonight at 6:45 on the pregame show and a 7 o'clock first pitch. The Ducks taking on the Wildcats in Arizona. I did talk with Mark Wasikowski this morning as well for the Toyota Coaches Corner, so the latest on how the Ducks are feeling heading into this one on the 6:45 pregame show tonight across the Oregon Sports Network, goducks.com/radio, where you can tune in on a terrestrial radio station, one of our OSN affiliates, or maybe you're just going to tune in on the GoDucks app or on TuneIn or wherever you want to tune in for Oregon baseball. When we come back, how about a look at the rest of the weekend? And a lot of action already underway if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour here on a Friday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Okay, man, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. Cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Show the world that you're tougher than tough.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack inside the Country Financial Studio. And, man, it's going to be a really fun weekend. We've got a full schedule for you, a full slate ahead, because Oregon softball already in action today. If you're live with us at the 1 o'clock hour, Oregon volleyball as well, Oregon lacrosse, and then tonight, Oregon soccer at 7 o'clock. They are on the road in Berkeley. 7 o'clock, the Ducks will look to move to 2 games above 500. And I think if Oregon gets a win this weekend, it could be huge. I'm telling you, Graeme Abel might have that squad in the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. Keep track of that. Oregon baseball tonight, 7 o'clock, beginning their 3-game series, 3-game set that is at 7, and then 3 on Saturday, noon on Sunday. We got Brody Dryden on the Oregon Sports Network filling in for us, a buddy of ours from out in Arizona, who's helping us out on these broadcasts. And, man, do I even need to say it? Sweet 16 Sunday. We'll talk to you for a special 3 o'clock pregame show. The women at 4, the men at 6:45 on ESPN and on TBS, respectively. Have a great weekend. Go Ducks.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Hundo P. Hundo P. Adjective. Short for being 100% sure or certain. As in, if we get a puppy, I'll Hundo P always walk it.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S.